Kobe Bryant, of all the points that he scored, 2,086 assists that were given to him. Only 2 were by point guards. The other 4 leaders in assists to him were from forwards or centers. You've got, what is it here? I got a list here. Derek Fisher, Lamar Odom, Shaquille O'Neal, Pau Gasol, Rick Fox, and Smush Parker. Those were the individuals that are accountable for the assist to some of Kobe's points in his career, okay? Only 2 of them were guards. The others were forward. So Kobe's thinking about what he had to do in order to accomplish.
Have you looked up Jordan's numbers along those lines?
I have not yet.
Because they both played in the triangle for the same coach with similar type of point guards.
Yeah, but not the similar type of supporting cast in terms of Scottie Pippen and P.J. Armstrong and those guys with Michael Jordan compared with Shaq and other guys. It's just different. I'm not saying it's better or worse.
Shaq's a great passer,
I understand that. I'm just saying, but for the most part, he was dominant. He got the ball. My only point in bringing that up is to say, you talk to Kobe. The important thing to understand for us all, he's not playing.
No, he believes.
He believes that he ain't joking.
But that's why
he's not joking.
That's why I'm saying it matters to him. It's important for him to believe it, but every shred of evidence points to Jordan, which is why it's him, then Jordan, then LeBron, according to him. Let me quickly say, Kobe's also told me, what if Jordan came in the league with Wilt Chamberlain, right? Because that's what happened with Shaq and him. And he, points that out to say, like, it's difficult for me to prove my case. I was playing next to the modern-day Wilt Chamberlain. My response to that is if Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain on the same team, they would win the championship every year. Jordan won the championship every year in under 7 games. He'd win it in under 4 games. Jordan and Wilt, they called the series off after 3 games. It's a massacre.
All right, hold on. I want you guys to go somewhere with me. So first, answer this question for me. Let's set aside Kobe for 1 second. Do you think Michael Jordan cares about this debate? Does he care about being compared to LeBron James? Does he care about winning the GOAT debate?
No, not directly. And what I mean by that is this, and I've explained this to Max on several occasions and various others. It's not that they care about the individual comparisons. They care about the criteria. When LeBron retires, it's not going to be, and you have somebody else on the come up that we're saying is better than LeBron. It's not that he's going to look at the individual player and say, oh, that guy's better than me or he's not better than me. He's going to look at the criteria. He's going to look at the style of play. He's going to look at the times that we're living in. He's going to look at the rules that favor a particular offensive play or system, rather. Like today's game is much softer than the games back in the day. You understand that Steph Curry wouldn't have been what he is because they'd have hurt him. They'd have put something on them because the rules allowed you to get physical. So they pay attention to those kind of things. In other words, the Jordan rules that were implemented by the bad boy Pistons, Jordan thinks about having to go through that to ascend to the point that he ascended to. And he's asking who else had to go through that. So they look at those things. And if we're not consistent with the criteria we utilize to judge those guys, that's when guys get their back up and they're offended. If you're judging everybody by the same accord, and you can believe what you want, they might debate or argue with you, but it's no big deal. But where they get their back up, and they're very, very serious about it, is when we change the standard to a less rigid fashion for their successors. That's when they have a problem with
Jordan
guys.
cares about it, but I want to relate a story that Stephen A. told me once about Michael Jordan.
Sure.
And this is my version of like sports pornography, practically. It's my favorite sports story of all time. Michael Jordan used to infuriate his opponents before big games. He would do things off the court to infuriate them. And when Stephen A. told me this, I said, of course, this is what Muhammad Ali used to do. You want to get under their skin, throw him off his game. Stephen A. said, no. Jordan used to tell me I wanted them to hate me so they were the best versions of themselves.
And then he would destroy them.
So that when I beat them, they knew I beat their best. Michael Jordan spends his time nowadays watching LeBron James thinking, how would I defend him? He is psychotically competitive, defectively competitive.
The reason that I bring up Jordan, I want to bring Kobe back here now, is I think there are people that pay attention to this. I think it does fuel some. I think they're fueled by anger and a burning desire and edge. And then there are those who know what they can control, as you point out, Max, who know I can't control the debate. I controlled it when I was on the floor. I can't control what Stephen A. or Max thinks. That is a unique ability to understand the world. And maybe these guys are unique, or maybe they have that edge still and still care.
Let me give you a nugget of information. I can't tell you how many times, whether it's Jordan, Isaiah, or anybody else, any of those stars, any of the guys that used to play, that are Hall of Famers, I can't tell you how many arguments I've had with them over players that had nothing to do with them. They would argue. I mean, Jordan will argue on behalf of Bird.
Right.
Isaiah would argue on behalf of other guys. I mean, you know, when you heard names like, for example, names that we don't even mention or think about, the Junior Bridgmans and Sidney Moncriefs of the world, and people like that. Alvin Robinson, strongest guy. I mean, this guy was an ox. You hear people talking about him like this, like, what? They think about it. And so this is what I mean when I talk about them protecting the culture and the history.
Real quick.
Because they're going to hold you accountable for the standard that you held them to. They want you to hold it to LeBron and others.
Real quick, Jordan went for 6 championships because Magic had 5. That was the modern era record, right? Jordan wants to be the greatest ever, and he knows he can prove it. This is why Kobe doesn't want to debate it. He knows in his heart he's the best ever, but he can't prove it.
But do you think it burns Kobe that often, more often than not, the debate is MJ versus LeBron?
Of course.
Kobe
gotta burn.
Kobe is an intellectual. He doesn't have much patience for what he considers to be idiocy. He definitely values those that paved the way, that played in a different time and a different system. Now, old school guys that value him, because Kobe's a guy that believes that they value him more than they value somebody like LeBron. Like we talked about Jordan. You remember Woj interviewed Giannis the other day. And Giannis talked about, I'm not trying to be friends with anybody. I'm going up against it, right? Remember when he said that?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Kobe wasn't that kind of guy, right? Giannis is not that kind of guy, right? Who is that kind of guy? Who befriends everybody?
LeBron.
Hugging everybody, singing Kumbaya, we all boys, let's hang out. Nah, that's not the old school cat.
One
They
thing
ain't
is
about
for
that.
sure.